Hi guys, and welcome to another video where today we're going to be attempting to predict the scores of week 38, the final Sunday of this season's Premier League. Now before we get into this week's predictions, let's have a quick look at last week and how well we did or how bad we did. Now Nathan, you came away with just the 4 points from last week, and of course it was a double game week as well, and I came away with just the 10 points myself. Looking at the prediction, I had two perfect scores, which was Everton versus Southampton, which finished 1-1, and Liverpool beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which was 1-0, which earned me 3 points. Unfortunately, you just had the 1 points here and there. Looking at the overall scores, you now have 245 points, and I have 265 points. So that puts me 20 points ahead going into this final week of the season. So I need to have a stinker, and you need to have an absolute stormer of a week to catch up with me, really. Looking in the comments section, the highest scorer of the week was Smithy the Hammer with 11 points. And I understand that Smithy the Hammer, you're a season ticket at the London Stadium. Congratulations, I suppose, in getting a draw against Manchester United last night. And best luck for next season when you come up against Cardiff. Okay, but well done anyway for getting the highest score in the comment section last week. But enough of that, let's crack on with week 38.
Okay, so first up we have Burnley versus Bournemouth in Turf Moor. Burnley, they've secured 7th place, they've secured the Europa League, the final Europa League spot. Unfortunately, they did lose 5-0 last week to Arsenal, who are in 6th, obviously. They haven't been on the nicest run of form, but they do come up against a steady Bournemouth team. They haven't been. They're basically on the same level of form at the moment, but I can see Burnley just narrowly winning 1-0. There's not going to be many goals in this match at all. Scrappy football, I think. Yeah,
this is going to be a very tight game. Final game of the season at Turf Moor. Sean Dyche up there with Burnley have done excellent this season. Bournemouth skirted away. I think they skirted with relegation earlier in the season, but they kind of turned their fortunes around, and they'll finish around about that 11th, 12th, 13th position. I can actually see this one a narrow victory for Burnley on the final Sunday of the season. Moving on to the next fixture, we've got Crystal Palace against West Brom. A resurgent West Brom, you could say, an excellent victory away to Spurs at home to Spurs last weekend. I think they scored in the dying embers of that match from a corner. Coming up against Crystal Palace side, who've been doing quite well themselves, it's going to be a tight affair, and I can see this one ending up as a 1-1.
Well, Darren Moore, he's been phenomenal, but because of other results, West Brom unfortunately, of course, go down. I reckon if the West Brom board would have used their brain and sacked Alan Pardew earlier, then I would have probably considered them to stay up because of how well Darren Moore is doing down there. But I can see West Brom winning 1-0, which is going to send a statement to the Championship for when they probably do really well there and then come back up the next season.
Possibly. They have been a bit of a yo-yo team in the past. I know they have stabilised in the Premier League the last few seasons. Before that, they were going up and down until they stabilised, and of course, fortunately, they've gone down this season. Moving on to the next match, however, we've got Huddersfield against Arsenal. Arsenal, I don't think they've got a point away from home since Christmas, or I know they definitely haven't won away from home, and in Europe as well, of course. Coming up against the Huddersfield side who've cemented their position in the Premier League. And I think they've actually having a celebration as well to mark that they've stayed in the Premier League as well for another season. In this match, Arsenal find it very difficult away from home. It is Arsene Wenger's last match in charge after 20 plus years at the helm there of Arsenal. I can see this one ending up because Huddersfield, they've been buoyed, that there was final results in the Premier League. I think this will end up in a stalemate of 1-1.
Nice. Well, Huddersfield, fantastic at home. Arsenal, awful away. For that reason, I think it's going to be a Huddersfield win for Arsene Wenger's last ever game in charge. It's going to be a narrow game. Arsenal are always terrible away. as seen in the past, but I can see this one being a 1-0 victory to Huddersfield. Next up we have Liverpool versus Brighton. Liverpool finishing strong at 3rd position. Very good season for Jurgen Klopp, qualifying for Europe, maybe adding the Champions League to the standings as well. But Brighton, they guaranteed safety as well about a week ago, I believe. Finishing 14th spot, solid position. Lowest that they could do is 15th probably. I'd say well done Brighton for staying up this year. Everyone didn't think so because of how badly your summer went last year with your particular signings. But Liverpool going to want to finish strong, going to want to make a statement before the Champions League. 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool haven't actually won in the league in the last 4 matches. Of course, they've lost away as well against Roma, although they are through to the Champions League final. Bit of a tricky one. Liverpool do need to win this one, because if they lose, then Chelsea can actually overtake them as long as Chelsea beat Newcastle. However, I think Liverpool are going to narrowly win this one 2-1. They really need to win this one to guarantee themselves Champions League football next season, although they could beat Real Madrid in the final, which will also secure that slot anyway. Yeah, this one's going to end up for 2-1 for me. Moving on, we have got Manchester United against Watford. Manchester United West Ham game the other night was terrible. Jose Mourinho, okay, they have finished second. You've got to give them that. They have improved over the season, and I think it's the best finish for around about 5 or 6 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Manchester United fans. I can't see anything other than a Manchester United win in this one. I can see them winning 2-0. But Josie, I know he plays the same all the time, but he's really got to take the reins off the players and just let them play in the last match. And maybe, I think Manchester United fans have been moaning a lot about their style of play recently. So I can see this one ending 2-0 in a not so entertaining game.
Yeah, because Mourinho doesn't exactly like to play exciting football, as people call it, like your Manchester City.
But he does get results.
Yeah, however, he does get results. However, sometimes he doesn't as well at the same time. Watford, they've secured safety as well, finishing 13th, a couple of places lower than that excellent season last year. Don't know why they kept don't know why they kept their manager from last year. Comment below. I forgot his name for some reason. Because
Silva, wasn't it?
No, Silva was this year because Silva was at Watford last year, and they sacked him halfway through the season because they were in about 11th position, which is crazy in my eyes. But anyway, back to the predictions. Man United, I just think they're going to be too strong, and I think that it's going to be a 3-0 victory. Next up, we have Newcastle versus Chelsea. Newcastle, strong finish, strong first season, 10th position, lost their last 4 games. Don't think they're going to win this one. Chelsea, one more win, and depending on other results, they could qualify for Champions League football. So, close match, but I think Chelsea are going to go up to Newcastle upon Tyne and get that 1-0 victory.
Yeah, well, I think this is going to be a very, very close match. Newcastle want to finish the season on a high. They're coming up against the Chelsea side who drew against Huddersfield, although Huddersfield are fighting for their lives, of course, in that previous fixture. I think this is going to end in stalemate, and I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Chelsea to miss out on Champions League football. They will qualify for the Europa League, and I can see Liverpool taking up that spot in the Champions League for another season. Next up, we've got Southampton against Manchester City. Southampton, there is a possibility of Southampton still going down if there's a 10-goal swing in Swansea's favour.
Yeah.
However, I can't see that.
There's no chance though,
because Chelsea, Swansea don't really score goals. I can see Manchester City possibly thumping Southampton, although Mark Hughes has kind of turned it around down there. They're out of, well, you could say they're really out of trouble now unless something phenomenal happens, the impossible happening on the weekend.
Yeah.
I think Southampton will score, but I think Manchester City are going to finish on a high. Gabriel Jesus is due a goal, and I can see this one ending in a 3-1 victory to the champions of Man City.
I just think Man City are just going to absolutely overpower Southampton in this fixture. I don't think Southampton will be able to do anything at all. For that reason, I'm going to say a 4-0 Manchester City victory.
Okay, next up we've got Spurs against Leicester. Spurs, in the Champions League next season. Leicester sort of form up and down. One week they're winning, one week they're losing, and they're dire, and you think, oh, they're going to lose again, and then they come at trumps with a goal, with a victory again. However, I think Spurs at home, their final match at Wembley before they move into their home with their new home next season. So they're going to go out on a high, and I can see this one ending up 2-1, narrow 2-1.
I can see this one ending in a 2-0 victory in possibly Claude Puel's last match, because apparently he's leaving at the end of the season because many Leicester fans weren't happy with something, probably their league position, which is kind of shocking.
And their style of play as well.
Yeah, style of play, because they're just not scoring really. But yeah, I can see this one being a 2-0 Tottenham victory, last game at Wembley before they move into the new lane.
Okay, next up we got the Jack Swansea City coming up against Stoke. Stoke at the bottom of the table. Swansea need 5, 6, 7, 8-0, 10-0 victory. Can you see that happening? Not in a million years. Swansea do not score goals at the moment. So, however, I can see them scoring this one against Stoke. They'll want to go out on a high, Stoke, and so will Swansea, in front of their fans before they'll be tears down at the Liberty Stadium again this weekend. And I can see this one ending up as 1-1.
Stoke, I really want to see them go out on a high and beat Swansea so they can secure their relegation. And for that reason, I am going to say a 1-0 Stoke victory.
Okay, the final match of the season for us to predict is West Ham at home, the London Stadium, against Everton. West Ham's form up and down, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, so erratic. Coming up against an Everton team who have secured a good 8th or 9th spot this season, depending on how this last fixture goes. It's going to be tight. I think West Ham, though, I think Arnautovic is going to turn on the style, and I can actually see them running out 2-1 victories in this match, in this final fixture.
I can see this one being a really close match, to be honest. Both teams yo-yo form. Both sets of fans do not want their managers in. Everton, their fans just hate their style of play, and West Ham in a bit of a precarious position, also hating the style of play. Both in the same sort of boat. It's a really tough one to predict. Probably the hardest out of them all. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, both.
Just.
Whether Allardyce goes next season and Moyes as well, we do not know. Wayne Rooney could have played his last game. I don't think he's available for this weekend. I think he's injured. Yeah. Whether the rumours are true he's going to DC United or not, nothing's going to be confirmed. Nothing from the club, nothing from the manager, nothing from the player even to say what's going on. Whether it's all paper speculation, I don't know. However, it could be that Wayne Rooney has finished his career in England, in the Premier League. And it's sad to see. I'd like to have seen him play for another season at least, but there we are. But that concludes our predictions for this week. Remember, as usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description, I should say. So copy and paste them into your comments, and we'll see. Like Smithy the Hammer, you could get a shout out in the next video. But what we're going to do, there is going to be a review show next week on our predictions for this week, and we'll go over the comment section as well. And throughout the summer, there's going to be other videos as well. We're going to do videos on how our predictions for the Championship league table, final league table came out, how our final league table predictions came out for the Premier League as well. There's going to be other sort of maybe some Cardiff City, maybe some vlogs coming up in the near future as well, and that's going to lead up to the World Cup. And we'll be doing a prediction video on the World Cup as well, who we think are going to be the winners are, and all that sort of thing.
And also loads and loads of uploads on my channel after the 8th of June as well.
And what is your channel?
NWM. Link in the description.
I'll put a link in the description for you.
So, and of course, got to say this, but on my channel, well, I might have, can't remember, but there will be no more uploads until the 8th or 9th of June. Unfortunately, sorry about that, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is that?
Oh, I'm just doing exams, and I just don't have
you
time.
got revision to do.
Yeah.
In this period, anyway. But yeah, after the World Cup as well, we'll be leading up to the new season, the Premier League, which we're looking forward to. Yes,
we're in the Premier League. Hooray!
Yes, Cardiff. Yeah, we'll see how we get on anyway, but it's going to be tough. But anyway, thanks for watching. Remember, if you like this video, please leave a like, as it means so much to us. comment below with your predictions, as I've said. And if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future content. But for now, we'll bid you farewell and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye guys.